Hello everyone and welcome back to GCOR Unlimited Racing 2D2. Today we're here at Coda, round 5 of the championship. But before we go anywhere, let's just have a quick look at the standings. After Lewis Hamilton's win last time out at Canada, at Montreal, he leads the championship behind Max Verstappen, driver who's been super consistent, just cannot find a race win. George Russell, winner of round 2, in third with Isaac Hadjar behind him. Antonelli, a point behind, rounding off the top 5. Charles Leclerc and Nicolas Soilov, P6 and P7, with Colapinto just falling down the order, P8. Mini and Vesti finishing off the top 10, with Camera in P11. Both Aston Martins P12 and P13, with Crawford P14, Beganovic P15, Latifi 16th, Dune 17th, both VCarbs 18th and 19th, with Lawson ahead of Lando, which is a bit of a surprise, and then Nikita Mazepin P20. Constructors wise, this is how we look going into Coda. Ferrari have a decent lead, although all it takes is one good weekend from the chasing pack, especially Mercedes and Red Bull, to just be back in there. Alpine beginning to lose touch with the top boys ever so slightly, with McLaren, Audi, Williams and Aston all fighting for P5. VCarb and Haas are their battle of the backmarkers. But yeah, without further ado, let's get into it. Coda qualifying, here it's where everyone going with Inters except Max Verstappen and is that Alex Dune? Alex Dune, yeah, 2 drivers on wets. Max Verstappen may regret that choice of going on the wets instead of the Inters. It'll either be a genius decision, or it'll be something he regrets, especially now that the rain will be stopping. There'll definitely still be some wet patches on track, as it won't stop this lap. But yeah, I think Max Verstappen may be ruining his decision starting on wets. Whilst all that's been happening though, George Russell, he looks to be the man who's going to start on pole. No, he's not. Charles Leclerc! Charles Leclerc! From nowhere! Charles Leclerc on the final corner. Pole position for the Monegasque. If I'm not mistaken, I think that's 2 pole positions in a row. 2 pole positions in a row for Charles Leclerc. That McLaren in the hands of Charles Leclerc is beginning to do magic. Charles Leclerc, what a lap. Final corner, we thought George Russell had it. Final corner, Russell went deep. Leclerc said thank you very much, and even Hamilton managed to get him. George Russell P3, but Jack Doohan, take a bow. P4. Beating the likes of Antonelli, Hadjar, Mini, Soilov, Colapinto, Mazepin, P10. What a qualifying session. But there's one big name who missed out on the top 10. That big name being Max Verstappen, starting P15. He got beaten by Beganovic, Camera, Lando and Paul Aaron. Jack Crawford P16, Frederick Vesti P17, Liam Lawson P18, June P19 and Latifi P20. But the big shock, well, there are a few big shocks. The biggest of them all though, Max Verstappen P15. What can he do? And I said it as the lap started. The wets was either going to be a genius gamble or a big mistake. Alex Dune felt it, but Max Verstappen felt the pain the worst. Other shocks though, Charles Leclerc stealing pole position from George Russell, but Jack Doohan, P4 on the grid, take a bow, and Nikita Mazepin in the top 10. Fair play. But now it's time for the race. It's where everyone on Inters, lights out and away we go. Leclerc gets a good start. Goes around the outside of Hamilton, Doohan into third. Russell takes back that position. Quite calm, quite relaxed. The top 5, top 6. Well, I was going to say they stay as they were, but no. Max Verstappen, has he made any ground? No, he's not. Up at the front though, Leclerc leads Hamilton. Russell fighting with Antonelli, Hadjar, Jack Doohan starting to fall down the pack. As the top 2 begin to run away, the drivers need to watch out of damage. All of the drivers in. They're all in. And they're all putting on the slick tyres. Jack Doohan, will Jack Doohan pit? Oh, Jack Doohan! Jack Doohan! Jack Doohan, all that hard work has just been undone by pit entry. That's so unfortunate. All that hard work he did in qualifying has just been undone because of a pit lane infringement. Antonelli though, there hunting down George Russell, but you've got to feel for Jack Doohan. All that hard work just undone like that. Further back, where's Max Verstappen? Max Verstappen's last. Max Verstappen's P20. What happened to him? He must have had a similar problem. Some more drives are in, I'm guessing for damage. So that will definitely help Max Verstappen, but geez, Verstappen's having a disastrous weekend. The man second in the championship is having a horrible weekend. The man first in the championship is challenging Charles Leclerc, Russell, Antonelli, and it's so weird having these man in the top 5 and no Max Verstappen there to complete it. Instead, Franco Colapinto has taken his place. Verstappen's teammate Mini has just boxed. Hamilton fighting Charles Leclerc, 4 laps in, and Hamilton gets him. 4 laps in, and there's been action left, right, and center already here at the Circuit of the Americas. Camera Mazepin running really good races though. Latifi is also in the top 10. Max Verstappen slowly making his way through the grid up to P9. I can't lie, today is just all about damage limitation for the Dutchman. The top 4, top 5 remain the same. Max Verstappen beginning to receive a little bit of pressure from his teammate. What will Red Bull do? Will they swap cars or will they keep it as it is? They swap cars. And Hajar's all over him too. Hajar's going to get past him. It's only a matter of time, and there, down the straight. Verstappen's going to use his ERS to get back past him. Hajar around the outside. Can he manage to make the move stick? No, he can't. Max Verstappen, round the outside. No. Verstappen can't make it work. Antonelli's in, Antonelli's out. Who else is boxed? Latifi's in. Up at the front. Leclerc's boxed as well. Hamilton has the lead. Don't be surprised to see Lewis box now. Same can be said for George Russell and Franco Colapinto, because Charles Leclerc is flying. George is in. Hamilton stays out. So what Hamilton's trying to do, I think, is have the tyre offset, because I don't think you can take a set of hards to the end of the race. That will be a long stint. Sorry. Further back, Max Verstappen's in, Max Verstappen's out. P12, keep an eye on him. Fresh mediums. Lawson's going to be like taking candy from a baby. The two Hasses though, there they are fighting. If I were Charlie though, I'd just tell the guys not to fight. Latifi's going to have a move on Aaron. Gets Aaron. Very good move from Nicholas Latifi. Did not expect that from so far back. But Aaron's hards are gone. Hamilton finally boxes. He falls down to P5. Mazepin and Latifi though, look at them. Fighting. Tooth and nail. Hamilton's going to get past camera now. Down the inside. Mini's not going to be difficult too. Antonelli though, he's the fastest man on track. Hamilton's closing the gap. Leclerc stays out. There's so many different tyre strategies playing out today. And it's all because we had rain. We started on intermediates, but after the first lap, everyone, and I mean everyone, boxed. Franco Colapinto will get past the Audi shell car very, very quickly. There, he's got him. Further back, Max Verstappen fighting with Isaac Hajar. Hajar's going to stay with him, and Hajar gets past him. Max Verstappen is having a horrible weekend this weekend. Never count out the Dutchman though. Antonelli round the outside, down the inside now of camera. Who's in? Leclerc's in. If he gets on hards, will he be able to go to the end of the race? Leclerc's on hards. He's going to the end of the race. Antonelli and Leclerc, let's not forget, he could have won the race at Coda if it wasn't for an incorrect strategy. Hamilton now chasing down George Russell. George will probably box. I don't know about this lap, but definitely by the time we get to lap 11, lap 12, he will be in. Hamilton's going to, wow, I don't know about breeze past George, but he's so much quicker. Expect Hamilton to pit 2. Antonelli though, I don't know, Antonelli and Charles Leclerc, can these two go to the end of the race? That's the biggest question. That is the biggest question of them all. George will box this lap. He has to box this lap. Lewis will probably overtake him and box next lap. Down the inside, Hamilton's fighting George. George's going to make it difficult for him. And yeah, Hamilton's got him. George is in. Leclerc hawking down Lewis Hamilton. I feel like if Hamilton doesn't box now, it'll be too late for him to box. Those tyres won't be able to make it to the end. And he can't box any later because there just won't be enough time laps for him to catch up. If you guys won't remember Malaysia, because that's when we had streaming problems, recording problems. But Malaysia, that's how Hamilton lost the race. He boxed too late. Russell managed to get him, and this is after Hamilton led the entirety of the Grand Prix. Will Hamilton box? Hamilton's in. Hamilton is in. It was now or never. Now or never, because you want to have enough laps, enough time to catch up to the front three. The front three. Hamilton's on softs though, so he's going to be rapid on a fresh set of softs. Further back, Max Verstappen's also on softs. Colapinto, so expect Verstappen to get Mazepin. It's looking like a P8 for Max Verstappen. I don't think he'll be able to get anyone else. Charles Leclerc leading though. What's the gap between Leclerc and Russell? 2.5. Russell's gaining though. Russell's gaining. It's going to be a very tense final 2 laps for McLaren and Charles Leclerc. Not only have they got Hamilton fast, but they have Russell fast too. Hamilton's the fastest out of all of them. Did you see the way he got past Kimi Antonelli? Leclerc, he's stuck. He's stuck behind traffic. And yet George Russell and Lewis Hamilton, lap by lap, are closing the gap. Corner by corner, are closing the gap. Lewis Hamilton's the biggest threat, but Lewis Hamilton needs to get past George Russell. Can he get him? George Russell, Lewis Hamilton fighting. Hamilton down the inside. Super aggressive from Lewis Hamilton, but he manages to make the move stick. Charles Leclerc is next, and Charles Leclerc has been stuck behind Liam Lawson for about a lap now. And look, Hamilton's caught up. Hamilton's caught up. Deja vu of Canada. Hamilton down the inside on the last lap. Hamilton's going to make the move stick. Hamilton makes the move stick, but look at the back markers. Look at the back markers. Lewis Hamilton, though, he's going to take the win. 1 corner to go. Hamilton wins at Coda. Leclerc P2. George Russell P3. Antonelli P4. Colapinto back in the top 5 with camera. P6. Mini P7 with Verstappen after a horrible weekend P8. Mazepin and Latifi, though. If Latifi can bring it home. Oh, Latifi gets overtaken down to 11th. But still a brilliant result for Haas. Aaron and Doohan, you have to feel for Doohan. It was going so well until the first round of pit stops. Soilov P14, Beganovic P15, Norris P16, Crawford 17th, Vesti 18th, Lawson 19th, and Alex doing P20. But wow, what a Grand Prix. Leclerc just cannot seem to get the job done. And it's the same man who said no to him last time out of Canada, says no to him this time out in the Americas. Lewis Hamilton is the first multiple race winner this season, and this is a big result for Lewis Hamilton, with Max Verstappen having a horrible race weekend, and that started with a strategy choice in qualifying to go onto the wets. That's where things started going wrong for Max Verstappen. Antonelli just outside of the podium spots. Franco Colapinto will be happy to be back in P5. Camera P6, Mini beating Verstappen for the first time. Mazepin in the top 10. Can you believe it? Hadjar overtaking Latifi on the last corner of the last lap. With Aaron and Doohan P12, P13. Like I said, you have to feel for Doohan. But like, wow. This is the championship now. Horrible weekend for Max Verstappen. Horrible weekend for Max Verstappen. Everything that went wrong for Max Verstappen. Don't get me wrong. All it takes is Lewis Hamilton to have a bad weekend just like that. And all of a sudden it's race on. But definitely a lot of points lost there. Antonelli, P4. 8 points ahead of Leclerc. Leclerc's closing in slowly but surely. Maybe if McLaren had a better car first 2 races of the season. Who knows? 2-3 races of the season. Who knows? Colapinto P7, good result for him. Soilov P8, Mini P9, and Camera P10. 6 points ahead of his teammate Vesti. Both Aston's 12th and 13th. Latifi, massive points for him. Massive points for Haas in total. And you know what? That's horrible for VCARB. However, as all of that's happened, Alex Doohan is now last in the championship. Who would have thought? In the McLaren car. Constructors-wise, Ferrari already on 200 points. Mercedes and Red Bull, this is the second weekend running that they're on the same points in the standings. Those two teams cannot be separated. Alpine, a further 27 points back, with McLaren past the 100-point mark now. Audi 4 points ahead of Williams. I mean, Audi having a decent weekend, to be fair. Still in that fight for P5 in the standings, you know, Audi and Williams. Aston now, today, they lost a lot of ground. What could have been a brilliant race? I mean, Jack Doohan, like I've said numerous occasions already, you have to feel for him. Has the massive points on VCARB. This is just going to put even more pressure on the VCARB boss's job, you know, Eforok. He's going to be under a lot of scrutiny now. But yeah, that's the constructor standings. Going into Monaco, round 6. And now this is the European part of the season. Only races left now. Monaco, Monza, Hockenheim. Cannot wait to go there. Then we go to Silverstone, Portimao, the Valencia street circuit in Spain, and then Brazil to round off the season. Cannot wait. Hopefully you guys can join me next time.